The notion that scientists and mainstream media are lying to us about climate change has become a prevailing sentiment among some segments of the population. This idea is often perpetuated by unsubstantiated claims and misinformation, which can lead to confusion and mistrust among the general public. However, it is essential to examine the underlying reasons behind this perception and the potential motivations of those who perpetuate it. Firstly, it is crucial to acknowledge that climate change is a complex and multifaceted issue, and scientists have been studying it for decades. The overwhelming consensus among climate scientists is that human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, are significantly contributing to the increase in global temperatures. This consensus is based on extensive research, data analysis, and peer-reviewed studies. Despite this, some individuals and groups continue to dispute the scientific evidence, often citing cherry-picked data or discredited sources. One reason for the perception that scientists and mainstream media are lying about climate change is the influence of special interest groups and lobbying organizations. These groups, often funded by fossil fuel companies and other industries that stand to lose from climate change mitigation efforts, have a vested interest in casting doubt on the scientific consensus. They use various tactics, including disinformation campaigns, think tank reports, and sponsored research, to create the illusion of debate among scientists. This can lead to a false narrative that climate change is a topic of legitimate scientific dispute, rather than a settled fact. Another factor contributing to the mistrust is the way climate change is often presented in the media. Mainstream media outlets, in their efforts to provide balanced coverage, may inadvertently create a false equivalency between the scientific consensus and the views of climate change skeptics. This can lead to the misconception that there is a 50-50 split among scientists on the issue, rather than the actual 97% consensus. Additionally, sensationalized headlines and doomsday scenarios can create a sense of fatigue and cynicism among the public, leading some to question the validity of climate change claims. Furthermore, the internet and social media have enabled the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories about climate change. Online echo chambers and filter bubbles can reinforce existing biases and create the illusion that there is a large community of like-minded individuals who share one's views. This can lead to a situation where individuals become convinced that their perspective is the majority view, even if it is not supported by scientific evidence. It is also worth noting that some individuals and groups may be motivated by ideological or political agendas, rather than a genuine concern for the science. Climate change has become a polarizing issue, with some people viewing it as a threat to their economic interests, lifestyle, or worldview. This can lead to a knee-jerk reaction against the scientific consensus, with some individuals dismissing the evidence as a hoax or a conspiracy. In conclusion, the notion that scientists and mainstream media are lying to us about climate change is a misconception that is often perpetuated by special interest groups, misinformation, and the way climate change is presented in the media. While it is essential to have a nuanced and balanced discussion about climate change, it is crucial to rely on credible sources of information and to recognize the overwhelming scientific consensus on the issue. By doing so, we can work towards a more informed and constructive conversation about climate change and develop effective solutions to mitigate its impacts. Ultimately, it is essential to prioritize the scientific evidence and to avoid being swayed by misinformation and ideological agendas.